Why did God harden Pharaoh's heart in Exodus? Have you ever wondered why Pharaoh's heart was hardened during the Exodus? This question leads us into a fascinating part of the Bible that reveals much about God's purpose and human choices. In the Exodus narrative, God hardened Pharaoh's heart as part of a divine plan to show his power and to free the Israelites from slavery in Egypt. At first, it is important to note that Pharaoh himself hardened his heart. He repeatedly refused to listen to Moses and the demands to let the Israelites go. Even after witnessing miraculous signs and plagues, Pharaoh continued to resist. This stubbornness set the stage for what happened next. God then declared that he would harden Pharaoh's heart. This does not mean that God simply took away Pharaoh's free will. Instead, it was a complex interaction where God allowed Pharaoh's own resistance to continue and even intensified it. The purpose behind this was to display the full extent of God's power and judgment through the plagues. The hardening of Pharaoh's heart served multiple purposes. First, it demonstrated God's authority over Egypt's gods and rulers. By allowing Pharaoh to persist in his rebellion, God showed that his plan to free his people was unstoppable. This was not just about Pharaoh. It was about revealing God's sovereignty to all of Egypt. Additionally, this hardening acted as a judicial response. Pharaoh had already chosen to resist God, and God's action allowed him to continue down that path. This highlights a theme in the Bible: God's sovereignty and human responsibility coexist. Pharaoh made his choice to resist, but God ensured that the events unfolded according to his plan. This narrative teaches us an important lesson about the consequences of rejecting God's will. When someone persistently turns away from God, it can lead to a hardened heart, making it harder to respond to correction or repentance. Moreover, it reassures believers that God can work through human stubbornness and even evil decisions to accomplish his redemptive plans. God's ability to use these situations for good is a powerful reminder of his greatness. In summary, God hardened Pharaoh's heart to demonstrate his power, fulfill his promise to deliver Israel, allow Pharaoh to persist in his rebellion, and reveal the nature of human resistance to God. This understanding encourages us to reflect on our own openness to God's guidance and the importance of responding with humility rather than stubbornness.